a wife and a lover. Confessions of a Man. My wife wore her hair in a ponytail, so it wouldn't get in her eyes, on plates, or in her children's faces. At home, she wore soft sweatpants and a roomy t-shirt, which made it easy to stand at the stove, wash things, and wipe the floors. Only on holidays, my wife would put on a smart blouse and skirt, big earrings in her ears, bracelets on her wrists, take the children and go to some festivals without me. I didn't like such events and was tired during the work week. After seeing them off, I still found the strength to go to her, my mistress. Yes, I was cheating on my wife. My mistress had her hair down her shoulders. It didn't bother her, and it didn't bother anyone. She had no children, no household either. At home she wore a smart open gown, or more often just lace underwear. When you live alone, you can easily afford it. Also, she was never in a hurry to go anywhere. No one and nothing distracted her. No family, no kids, no chores, from me. My wife is the kind of person who skillfully makes dumplings. Dumplings with cherries, over the winter by the hundreds, because I love them and their family needs something to feed them. With my mistress, at lunchtime we often go to cafes and restaurants. She loves all this exoticism. When I met my mistress and cheated on my wife for the first time, the family had already become a burden on me. My wife cared about only one question: when will the paycheck? My children were always in need of something. Their shoes were gone, or they needed a backpack for school. My mistress used to give me presents, little things, but nice, which I used to hide from my wife in the toolbox, or something from the cool stationery. You can always say, if anything, that the whole office bought. I used to give her gifts, too. She liked to pick them out herself. My wife got a little bit fatter after childbirth. Her figure was certainly not the same. Started to pick up and things are less tight. Her mistress, though she did not torture herself with trainers, but the absence of childbirth and good nutrition allowed her to remain as slender as she was at 25. There was no shame in bringing her to my friends. My friends were used to my double life. They welcomed me with their mistress, but with great pleasure. They asked to come to my family for dumplings, fur coat, Olivier. Few of them were lucky to have good hostesses, and when they left our house, they always kissed my wife's hands and shrugged at me in surprise. What else does a man need? At such moments, I was very proud of my family, my cozy, clean house and bright, beautiful children, and my wife, so hospitable and charming. Time flew by quickly. The quality of my life didn't change much. Only, perhaps, my mistress became as close as my wife. Some awkwardnesses grew into habits, and I realized that I was already afraid of losing her. I never confessed my love for her and never promised to leave her. I warned her right away that I would not leave my family, but now I began to tell her about my feelings, because I was jealous. The thought of losing my wife never crossed my mind. She seemed to me to be a part of myself, my leg, my arm, my kidney, and she never gave me a reason to think about it. One day, my wife found out about the existence of a mistress. I was faced with a choice. Actually, to be completely honest, I didn't have a choice anymore. I could just still try to fight for either of them. But it was at that moment that I realized how lonely I had been all along. I had two of them, a wife and a mistress. A wife who was comfortable and warm, like my mother. The mistress, who pleased my ego. I am a good man. I cheated on both of them. All these years, I was not with a woman who I would like to amaze every day by some unbelievable deeds, movements of the soul, for the sake of which I would like to become even better, to achieve even more, just to be proud and admire me. In all these years none of the women hugged me tenderly from behind, did not nestle against the back of my neck when I was sick, did not whisper that I was the best, that everything would improve. No one felt my fear, did not notice my fatigue, my lack of direction. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? I had two of them, but I didn't have the only one, the one I loved and loving.